And this is hitting weather out there. These players are going to be in a condition out there where the humidity, the heat, nothing's going to affect them right now. The crisp air, they're going to be refreshed. They're going to be able to get pumped up. Their recovery time is going to be quicker, and they're just going to love to get out there and hit somebody today. Put the thump on them.
That's the kind of afternoon we are anticipating here at McMahon Stadium. Both Ron Lancaster and Wally Buono suggesting they don't expect a whole lot different football game than the thriller last week, 45-38 overtime, going to Calgary at Commonwealth Stadium. Here's Pee Wee. And Smith gets the Stampeders good field position to start the opening drive. And that was a key a week ago. The Stampeders averaged to start from their own 48-yard line on each possession. And there is Doug Flutie.
55 yards.
And the Eskimo defense still talking about how he pulled last week's game out of the bag.
Incredible numbers that he shows right now, but the big thing he does, he is innovative. He's an ad-libber. There is nothing that they can really defend against about the way that he scrambles. He scrambles to throw the ball, but he will run if he has to.
The numbers you didn't see there, he is the number 3 rusher in the CFL, had 141 yards last week on the ground, and he may have to take off here. Benny Goods trying to chase him down, and they force him out of bounds after a short gain. Let's take a look at the offensive lineup. Great receiving corps: Crawford, Sapunjas, Pitts, and Bland. Eric Mitchell starting at running back in place of the injured Keevan Jenkins. The fullback is Andy McVeigh. And an offensive line that has been made over this year. Ken Moore, the veteran, has had an outstanding year. And on the other end, it's Bruce Covington at left tackle at 300 pounds. And he has been an outstanding rookie for the Stampeders. 2nd and 9. 5 receivers out, and they dump it off to Mitchell. Great move by Mitchell. He'll have a first down, and he's into Eskimo territory, down at the 48-yard line. Here's the defense that Flutie and company are working against.
These guys have really got their work cut out for them. It constitutes that they have to be the most disciplined defensive team that they have been up to this date all season long. In the secondary, they're going to have to cover man-to-man. Trent Brown, the U of A second-year fella, getting the start at safety position for the Edmonton Eskimos.
And there's Willie Pless, who Ron Lancaster feels is the best defensive player in Canada right now. First down after that 22-yard pickup by Mitchell, who has the ball again, but no running room this time. Enos Jackson closed the hole quickly for Edmonton.
Good job by Enos Jackson coming off the weak side, was coming on a weak side halfback blitz and absolutely just blitzed right into the toss play to Eric Mitchell. Calgary Stampeders feel that Eric Mitchell, not only can he run the ball, but his biggest asset right now is getting him into the pass patterns and trying to get him matched up one-on-one against the Edmonton linebackers.
Loss of 1 on that play, so another 2nd and long situation for Flutie, and all 6 receivers are out. Flutie has a completion and has a first down. Carl Bland, the veteran, who had a big game last week against the Eskimos, makes the catch. Eddie Thomas and Larry Ruck in on the stop.
Gain of about 11 yards.
Bland with 9 catches, 102 yards last week, Dan.
Good coverage up there as far as the Calgary offensive line, giving Flutie enough time, creating a pocket so that he has good throwing lanes and visions downfield to be able to match up and lock up with Carl Bland.
Bland will go wide to the right. Derek Crawford is to the left side. First down. Play action for Flutie, and now he swings it out to Mitchell. Breaks the tackle. And Mitchell takes a hit at the 32-yard line, so the gain is just 3.
Comes back to simple techniques for this Edmonton defense right now. Break down. Do not get out of control trying to make your tackle, particularly on a guy like Mitchell or even on Doug Flutie. Break down. Sapunjas, and you can see how physical it's going to be right there. Stephen Jordan just absolutely put the thump right on Sapunjas as he tried to get off the line of scrimmage.
3rd consecutive time in this drive that the Stampeders have 2nd and long. They've converted on the first 2. Flutie swings it to Mitchell again. He's got great hands. Can he beat Pless? Mitchell has another first down, and Well, he showed you something there against Willie Pless.
Two things. He showed his great intensity as far as catching the ball, as it was a swing pass. Just a little safety valve pass. Doug Flutie trying to look downfield, wants to get the ball upfield. Nope, comes to the left, dumps it off to Mitchell right there. Then he makes the move back inside, and that just froze Willie Pless. And when it did, the acceleration that Mitchell had to get around the corner, turn it upfield, and pick up a big first down.
Eric Mitchell has played in 4 CFL games and has 4 touchdowns, and he certainly has the Stampeders in scoring position here. Bob McDonald, the starting center, has been shaken up. He comes out, and Doug Davies, who started last year for the Stampeders, goes into the game to snap the football for Doug Flutie, and there's a look at an impressive opening drive so far for the Stampeders.
The name of the game of one thing that Doug Flutie does so very well is control, possession offense, and he can march the ball right down the field on you.
First down. Flutie may keep himself. Takes a look into the end zone. Crawford, touchdown!
Flutie comes out. It's a counter action. He's got Cafazzo leading him out front. Now he can run the ball. He's got plenty of room down. Gives the little direction, throws the ball up top. Stephen Jordan loses Crawford, and then Crawford keeps his eye on the ball. Good reception, good concentration, and this is where Doug Flutie is so very big a threat for the Calgary Stampeders.
McLaughlin adds the extra point. 4 minutes, 12 seconds into this first quarter, and the Stampeders march down the field for the opening score. Bono said yesterday, Derek Crawford's always open. His stats should be better. Well, they just improved.
Just a chance of trying to find the open receiver. Doug Flutie's running out there. The one thing these Calgary receivers do so well is to never give up, never stop running your pattern, because you never know when Doug Flutie's going to get you the ball.
Now Crawford is a former teammate of Gizmo Williams, and here's Williams, contained pretty well by that Stampeder kickoff team. 67-yard kickoff, 21-yard run back as Tracy Ham takes the field, and Ron Lancaster yesterday said it's Tracy's turn, time for him to shine. Last week, he was not at his best, coming off an injury the week before.
As Tracy goes, so goes the Edmonton Eskimos, and it's very important for him to realize to come out right now, I feel, and be patient, concentrate on getting ball control, establish the running game that you did before. Do not try to get it all back at one time.
This is the highest scoring offense in the CFL, and the handoff up the middle to Michael Souls, who gets the start.
Michael Souls, the ball carrier for the Eskimos, gains about 4.
And it is Souls' first start at running back, so it's an all-Canadian backfield for the Eskimos. Souls out of McGill and Blake Marshall out of the University of Western Ontario. Pickup of 3, maybe 4 for Souls. And it's second down and 6 for the Eskimos. Perhaps the most well-balanced offense in the CFL. You'll see a lot of rushing the football this afternoon, Dan. Not likely here, though. Ham in the flat. Jim Sandusky's been a favorite receiver this year, and Sandusky will be short of the first down.
Jim Sandusky
at the 38, he had to get to the 39 for the first down.
By Carl Anthony.
Jim Sandusky comes off the line, probably has some of the most surest hands on the Edmonton Eskimos. Clutch receiver, 5 catches last week for 78 yards against the Calgary Stampeders. He will be one of the receivers that Tracy Ham wants to go to in the crucial situations.
It is third down and less than a yard. And early in this football game, to answer that long drive by the Stampeders, Ron Lancaster is going to lead the offense on the field. 4 men in the backfield, now Sandusky in motion, and Ham will keep and have the first down.
Tracy Ham looks to have the first down around the 40-yard line.
And already the tempers starting to heat up. Let's take a look at the Eskimos offensive lineup for this game. 4 receivers there that have a chance at 1,000 yards apiece, and of course the big bruising backs.
Eskimos at their own 40-yard line.
Blake Marshall, complemented by Michael Souls. Michael Souls has tremendous speed and also a good pass receiver. Good, solid offensive line backed up with Pierre Vercheval back in the lineup, which really solidifies that line of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Vercheval, the veteran left guard, is back. And here's the give to the right side for Souls. Flag goes down, so does Souls at the 53-yard line. But this one's coming back. Daryl Hall, the All-Canadian linebacker, made the tackle.
Daryl Hall in on the
Michael
tackle.
Souls shows that great speed that he has getting around the corner, but he was aided a bit by a grabbing penalty on inside. Could have been on Randy Ambrosi. I don't know how good you are at reading lists, but I think it was 22. It looked like Blake Marshall was held.
That's right. Ron Lancaster going to Souls early. He was a key man last week with 11 carries, 88 yards. It's interesting. The Eskimos are the top rushing team in the CFL, but they haven't had a 100-yard rushing game yet this year. They spread it around Ham, Souls, and Marshall. 1st and 20, and Ham airs it out looking for Gizmo, and Gizmo's got it. Well, he put a move on Errol Tucker to cut inside, and Gizmo has a big gain and a first down for Edmonton.
Errol Tucker really has to respect the speed of a Gizmo Williams, and as Gizmo broke it to the outside on the streak pattern, the throw was actually underthrown by Tracy Ham. Giz did a great job of all of a sudden making his break, getting around Tucker, then picking up the ball. Tucker never found the ball right to the last minute. Giz does a great job of turning around, good concentration of bringing the ball in right at the last minute. Ham standing in there. There's Cofield, big Cofield standing in there and putting a lick on Tracy Ham. He's going to hit all day, but it's a necessity that he stand in there and take it.
38 yards on that gain. Ham just 14 of 38 a week ago. Here's Souls wide open, and he's down at the 20-yard line. Greg Knox, the safety, came up, but Souls had a lot of room before the safety closed on him.
Safety Greg Cops. Here's a very, very physical and a speed-oriented defense. The front seven, led by Cofield, also Alondro Johnson in the middle of that linebacking core. Their secondary is as solid as any secondary in the CFL.
Eskimos on the move. First down, early movement. Will Johnson, the West top defensive player last year, jumped the gun. And that will move it 5 yards closer to the Calgary end zone.
Edmonton had success last week running the ball against the Calgary. This offense, this defensive front up there is built for speed. They're built for pass rushing. They get off the ball very quickly, get upfield, and they're very tall and rangy, and it makes it easier for the low to the ground offensive linemen of the Edmonton Eskimos to get angles to block on them.
Ham gives it inside to Marshall. And he has 3 on 1st and 5. Coach Lancaster said yesterday, you give Blake Marshall the ball, you know he's going to get 3 yards by himself, and then he'll try and run over people. He's one of the few running backs that actually looks for defensive players he can try and run over.
There's something wrong. If Blake breaks it through the hole and nobody's hit him, like I said, he will look at it because he feels that he should be hit. He should be dragging somebody by their hooks in him down the field.
It's now 2nd down and about a yard after that gain by Marshall, who gets the ball again and has the first down for Edmonton. Tough load to drag down, and it is heating up on the field early.
Tempers are going to fly. They are matchups at every position, one-on-one. The thought is out there, beat that guy in front of you. If I beat him all day long, our chances of winning this ball game are better. Anthony and Ellis going right at it. Ellis has been around this league for a long time, and Anthony's showing, I'm not going to take any stuff off you.
Well, the coach wanted more production out of his slot backs this week, and Ellis trying to set a tone. Here's Ham. He could score. Touchdown, Eskimos. Well, Dan, it took 4 minutes, 12 seconds for the Stampeder drive. The Eskimos just executed theirs in textbook fashion. It took 5 minutes.
Tracy Hand, just great athletic ability. Fakes the inside counter to Blake Marshall. He has, that time, that was Cofield coming on the outside, and as Cofield got him a stutter step, Tracy showed good speed, accelerated around and ran right to the corner end zone.
Sean Fleming to add the extra point. And with 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter at McMahon Stadium. Ham and the Eskimos have tied the Stampeders.
It's now time for the
3 regular season meetings between these two teams. First place at stake as they try to break the tie here in the West between Calgary and Edmonton. The third meeting between these two teams will be October the 24th. Eric Mitchell fields the kickoff. And Mitchell doesn't get to the 30-yard line as we join Mark Lee.
A 61-yard kick by Sean
Hills.
Fleming.
This was the scene at 9:15 this morning when the grounds crews arrived at McMahon Stadium. They had to get their tractors out to clear off the snow that fell overnight. And for a while, we started to think this might be a repeat of that 1977 Ice Bowl in the Grey Cup game when the Alouettes, and Wally Buono's Alouettes, by the way, beat Dan Kepley's Eskimos in that Grey Cup game using staples in their shoes. And Wally might just be prepared, Dan. Look what I found on the Calgary bench. I guess that brings back memories, eh?
Boy, you really know how to hurt a guy on there.
There's Andy McVeigh with a first down burst right up the middle. I was wondering what you were doing checking cleats this morning.
I walked right out of there. As soon as I saw the condition of this field, I walked right into there because you've got Chuck McMahon, you've got Wally Buono, you got George Cortez. You got guys who've been around that Montreal team a lot. I was looking for staple guns. At least if you know that you got them, you can understand why those guys are able to cut on a dime out there.
Well, we're high and dry, and actually the field is in ideal condition now. The sun came out and melted away that snow this morning. First down, Doug Flutie has a receiver open. That's Carl Bland. Stopped at the 51
Flutie's
by
pass
Enos
complete
Jackson.
to Carl Bland, a gain of 10 yards.
Doug's doing a great job of play-action pass, faking the handoff inside to McVie, holding those inside linebackers of the Edmonton Eskimos, and then allowing Bland to work in behind the zone, settle down in the open area. Doug Flutie's having plenty of time to hit him.
When we got to the stadium, the snow was still on the field, and Doug Flutie was out for an early jog, and he came over to us and said, "Looks like playoff weather here." Well, there certainly is a playoff atmosphere. Out in the flat it goes. That's the touchdown scorer, Derek Crawford, but he's all wrapped up by Eddie Thomas.
Crawford right at midfield, just on the Eskimo side.
Good challenge for Eddie Lee Thomas early, coming off of an injury. The leg obviously responding very well to treatment, and he's getting tested early with a speed guy like Crawford. As he jumped outside, just a quick hitch pattern, and it's a one-on-one. Eddie Lee comes up, breaks down, takes the outside away, forcing him back inside. Crawford makes a good quick cut back to the outside, but Thomas is in good position.
Plenty of offense already here at McMahon Stadium. Second down, 6. Flutie pulls it down, now throws, Sapunja's open. And pulled down at the Eskimo 35. Dave Sapunjas has been a key receiver for Doug Flutie all season long. And he is celebrating his 25th birthday, number 25 for Calgary.
Matches the age, matches his own number, but he slows up there, but then he realizes and sees Doug Flutie scrambling out. Now it's work into the open area and be ready to try to receive a pass downfield. Doug Flutie having that great vision that he has across the whole board of the field, opens and locates the Sapunjas being the open receiver and hits him on the mark.
First down, there's the reverse. Smelled out as Sapunjas is dropped for a big loss by the middle linebacker, Larry Ruck.
Nothing better. There's not a better feeling right now from a linebacker than blitzing right into the play. Larry Ruck coming from the top of your screen, fakes the Statue of Liberty, gives it to Sapunjas, and there is Larry Ruck putting the helmet right into the chest of Dave Sapunjas. Great play by Larry Ruck.
Second down.
Larry has taken over for his old buddy Dan Bass, and they haven't missed a beat. The middle linebacker, he's 5th in the league in tackles. Second down and long. Flutie just gets rid of it. And here is Carl Bland to the 25. And he is just shy of a first down. He'll be awfully close.
The game is 15 yards.
Not knowing the Edmonton secondary calls this place, but there had to be some type of miscommunication back there, because now you've got Bland standing out there all by himself. Eddie Lee is going deep, and the closest guy coming to him was Willie Pless, and then Bland is able to function and just get the ball. When you get the ball to a fleet-footed receiver like that in the open field, he can make a lot of things happen.
Well, Wally Bono has an early decision to make. It's third and just over a yard. But he has Mark McLaughlin on the field. The leading scorer in the CFL with 107 points now. Has had a lot of success against Edmonton, 24 of 36 on the year. And McLaughlin puts it through. 44 seconds left, first quarter. And the Stampeders have regained the lead.
Tied at 20-20.
Back at McMahon Stadium, late first quarter. Last year, 48-36 on Labor Day. Calgary won. Looks like we've got another high-scoring game in store for you as Tracy Ham and the Eskimos will scrimmage from the 35. They elect not to receive the kickoff. Looks like Johnson jumped the gun again. And it's Michael Souls into the secondary up to the 50-yard line. So this Eskimo running attack, which was so effective last week, continues. 15-yard gain for Souls. Will Johnson jumped the gun offside, but the Eskimos will decline this.
Balanced formation and what they do, two receivers on either side. Bring Blake Marshall up as the slot back on the right-hand side, gives him three receivers, and then runs the ball back to the weak side with Michael Souls.
First down, Eskimos, their own 50-yard line. Souls again. As close to 4. Cofield and the linebacker Matt Finley making the stop that time. And it's interesting, it seemed last week that the defensive line of the Stampeders had the edge when the Eskimos were in passing situations, but the offensive line of the Eskimos was really dominating during the rushing situations.
This is a very tall, rangy defensive line, as I said. They are speed-oriented. They get off the line, they get upfield very quickly, pin their ears back, and that gives them, the offensive line of the Edmonton Eskimos, a bigger chance to get angles, to get low underneath them, to make those blocks for the run.
And crossfield has Craig Ellis for a first down into the Calgary territory at the 44-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter, with the Stampeders up by a field goal. Back at a sold-out McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Chris Cuthbert, Dan Kepley, Mark Lee, and the CFL on CBC crew. First of our Labor Day Classic doubleheader. Later tonight, it will be the Hamilton Tiger Cats entertaining the Toronto Argonauts. Here's Tracy Ham looking for Sandusky, and he can't hang on. Dan, that's the 15th pass we've seen in this game. The first incompletion. Ham now 4 for 5. Doug Flutie's perfect, 9 for 9.
We talked earlier with both the coaches. They talked about execution. They caught Sandusky, has a chance to come behind the zone. He gets behind Tucker. The ball's just thrown out past his outstretched hands, or we could have been 15 for 15.
Here's a look at first quarter statistics. And it may be a track meet today already. Look at the net yard totals. 2nd and 10, and Ham's under pressure. Just gets it away, and it falls incomplete, but Ham did a good job just getting that away with Will Johnson bearing in on him.
Will Johnson had great control that time. Actually, it was Alondro Johnson and Darryl Hall coming up the middle that created that, forced Tracy Ham out of the pocket. Anyway, it was Greg Knox that came in, the safety, right at the last minute and forced him into the open arms of Will Johnson. Tracy doing a good job of releasing that ball downfield.
51-yard field goal attempt.
So it's third down, and Sean Fleming's in the game. The rookie will attempt a 51-yarder. His longest is just 40. So this is a real test for the University of Wyoming product. Fleming has it. 51 yards out. He has his longest field goal in the CFL.
John Fleming, they had some question about his kicking earlier part of the season. And he said, about halfway through the season, I think I should be in full flight. And they looked at him, and all of a sudden, Coach Lancaster looked at him and said, it's showtime. This is halfway through.
Let's join Mark Lee.
Well, Chris, while the Stampeders do their job on the field, their wives have been working hard off the field. Before this game, they were out collecting food for the Calgary Interfaith Food Drive. And two of those wives join me here on the sidelines, Dana Davies and Larry Flutie, and their kids, fresh from collecting all those cans. Dana, what was the response like?
Well, it was overwhelming. We were really surprised with the amount of cans that people brought out this year and really pleased with the reaction.
Lori, do you think that hooking the food drive to a big sporting event like this maybe got more people being generous?
Oh, yeah, I think it's a great idea, especially the Labor Day game. And because of the sellout, we've had a tremendous amount of cans and food items and also cash donations. So the people have been great.
Good job. Thanks for coming down the sidelines. We'll let you get back up into your seats.
Thanks.
Chris?
Well, the longest field goal in the CFL this year, a 55-yarder by Paul Osbaldiston, but Sean Fleming, the rookie, has nailed one from 51 yards out, and we're tied at 10 here. A minute into the second quarter. And here comes Eric Mitchell. Turns the corner, and now Damian Lyons just forces him out at the 49-yard line. So Mitchell, who was a key man on the opening drive for Calgary, has a 43-yard return here.
Mitchell did a great job as showing that the return was going to go straight up the middle, and as he caught the ball, heads up the middle, draws the coverage team of the Edmonton Eskimos in, then breaks it hard to the outside. Travis Oliver loses containment on the outside. Mitchell showing great speed as he's able to get around and get pushed out right at the last minute.
Haven't had a punt yet. As the offenses have shone here at McMahon Stadium. Flutie has another completion. Derek Crawford down at the 49 of Edmonton. And Doug Flutie's red hot, his 10th straight reception.
Sharp, quick reads, very, very crisp. Catching Crawford, coming off the line, reads the zone, and then his point is drag through the middle, sit down in between the halfback and the outside linebacker. Doug Flutie reads it right on the money, puts the ball right out there on the mark to Crawford.
Crawford comes wide to the right with Pee Wee Smith this time. And the lone setback is Mitchell. Mitchell takes the handoff, no running room there. Once again, the middle linebacker, Larry Ruck, fills the hole.
Larry Ruck in on the tackle for the Eskimos.
Great gap cancellation defense by the Edmonton Eskimos. They have guys that are disciplined, guys that take on blockers, and guys that are designated tacklers. In this instance, there's Larry Ruck hitting Mitchell right in the hole, stopping him short, and also Willie Pless coming in from the outside.
Eric Mitchell now, 2 carries for -2 yards. Second and 11. And Flutie's got a scramble. Flag down. Completion to Sapunjas. And the Eskimos swarm him at the 43. It's coming back, although it is short of a first down. But I think Sapunjas got the ball into Mark McLaughlin range, so the Eskimos will likely accept the penalty.
A play that we're going to see a lot of again is the heat coming from the Edmonton Eskimos, Doug Flutie ad-libbing, scrambling, and then the receivers working like crazy downfield to get open.
Holding, Edmonton 64, decline, 3rd down.
Well, they are going to take the reception. The ball at the 43 means Mark McLaughlin has a chance at a 50-yard field goal.
The Calgary Stampeders wish to extend a warm welcome.
You never know what happens. Does Flutie's run last week when they had the penalty and they took the penalty, it came back, and then Flutie had 3rd down repeated again for 15, and then he made something big happen. They eventually went on to score the touchdown at that point. Maybe if they took the touchdown, it's earlier in the game, but this is a big chess match between Wally Buono and also Ron Lancaster.
And as you can see, they've elected to try a punt. There is a slight breeze, and Martino instead will kick it away. Good punt. Gizmo 4 yards deep, and he'll concede the single point. So the Stampeders get one and regain the lead. 12:01 left.
Stampeders 11,
First half.
Eskimos 10.
Stamp back in the lead on a 47-yard single by Tony Martino into a slight breeze. Kept his average this year just over 40 yards, so a great punt by Martino as the Stamps out in front again.
35.
Eskimos at their own 35-yard line. Tracy Ham is off to a good start as well. Gizmo Williams in front of Junior Thurman.
Ham's pass is complete to the Gizmo.
Is close to a first down at the 45.
Brought down by the
Well, the Labor Day
Junior
Classics
Thurman.
are legendary, and for Junior Thurman last year, a clinching touchdown in the late stages of the game developed a nickname, the Thurminator, which has stuck ever since.
And he's lived up to it because he is terminating a lot of those receivers out there. Gizmo's got to run him deep a couple of times to make him respect him, and that's going to open those under routes that he had just completed earlier.
Second and a couple of feet. And who better to call upon than Blake Marshall, who gets out to midfield.
Blake Marshall for the Eskimos barrels over midfield.
Greg Knox, the safety out of Laurier, had to move up, and that's an interesting matchup, Laurier and Western, because yesterday Knox told me that this rivalry is a lot like Laurier and Western.
When you get Pierre Vercheval pulling out there the guard, and the first guy that he's going to meet is Daryl Hall, the outside linebacker, relocated defensive back. It's a mismatch, and Pierre absolutely buried him, allowed Blake Marshall to make the break inside and pick up a big first down.
Ham in the flat has a completion to Chris Armstrong. He's hauled down at the 47-yard line, and well after the play was over, a flag down. Will Johnson, I think, took an extra shot at Tracy Ham.
But there is a flag down.
And it looks like 81 of the Stampeders, their all-Canadian defensive end, might be just a little too fired up.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, 81 Calgary, first down Edmonton.
Well behind the play, in fact, after Chris Armstrong had been taken to the turf.
When you get two teams as equally matched as these two right now, again, you have to contain your discipline out there and not let stupid penalties create situations for the other ball club.
And Wally Buono just let him know that. Marshall again, straight up the middle.
Blake Marshall gets the call for the Eskimos.
To the 23 and a pickup of 8 for Blake.
Also in on the tackle, Harold.
What a throwback he is to the old days. And the Eskimo offense, described by Don Southern as a cold weather offense, is only going to get better with the crashing style of Blake Marshall.
Great success that they have, that they know physically up front they can handle the Calgary defense against the rush, so keep trying to rush this ball right down their throat.
Marshall again, stopped short. I don't think he got to the 20-yard line where he had to be for the first down.
Daryl Hall did a great job of closing and meeting Blake Marshall right in the hole. It's going to call for a measurement.
Laird was there.
A year ago, Daryl Hall was an all-Canadian defensive back. Now he's playing up as a linebacker, and he's in on more of those bruising tackles.
Well, that's the new evolution of some of the defensive backs converting to that outside linebackers with the number of receivers that offenses are coming with right now. It doesn't put the defense in such a mismatch opportunity that they get either a wide receiver or a slot back against an outside linebacker. Now they're running them with converted defensive backs.
So it is a first down. Yesterday, Alondra Johnson vowed they will not run against the Calgary defense, but the Eskimos have had success. Play action, and wide open was Souls, and Ham missed him.
Tracy Ham's pass intended for, well, I guess the 5-yard line. Incomplete.
Great job that the Eskimos are doing of setting up these plays. They waggled Michael Souls up to the line of scrimmage, fake the inside trap play that they had been running previously to Blake Marshall, and then all he did, Michael Souls, was release off the line of scrimmage, straight down the seam. He's wide open. Tracy just absolutely threw a horrible pass.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the 21. And the Eskimos took too much time.
Time violation. Edmonton number 8, still 2nd down.
As that happened, I can guarantee that Tracy's going in there thinking, I had him wide open, there was a touchdown, that's 6 points. He was thinking too much about the play previous as opposed to the play that they were going to run.
Greg Knox, the safeties, come out. Zizakovic has come in as they beef up the pass rush. On 2nd and 15, Ham gets it away. Gizmo in the end zone, flag down. Gizmo looked like like he may have had a step, but he was interfered with.
Good protection up front. Gave Tracy Ham plenty of time to stand in the pocket, and what Giz did was just come off the line, use that burning speed, break to the post, and as he broke to the post, he created a seam and a little void right between he and Errol Tucker. And as he broke by Tucker, Tucker put the hand out and gave the grab on the sleeve.
Forward pass interference. Calgary number 3. First down.
Tracy's looking to the left, comes back to the Giz to the post, and you see just the contact right at the last minute, right to the left of our screen, as Tucker put the hand out and pulled Giz back.
First down, Eskimos. Ham looking, end zone, incomplete. Sandusky, the intended receiver.
Second down, Eskimos.
Errol Tucker, the man who was called on the pass interference, and Ham went right back at him.
This is a play that was designed a lot of years ago with Brian Kelly and Warren Moon throwing the pass. As Sandusky comes, he tries to burn it up the field like he's going to take Errol Tucker down on the streak. Tracy Ham purposely throws the ball behind Sandusky and the defender. Sandusky tries to get the defender turned up the field and then turn back around to make the reception.
Going in the end zone for Ellis. Can't hang on. A little slippery down in that end zone. Just off the outstretched fingertips.
As we mentioned at the onset of the broadcast here, that Coach Lancaster felt that the slot backs had to come up with big plays. Craig Ellis had a number of big plays last week, 2 touchdowns against the Calgary defenders, and this is where he's looking for him to rise to the occasion again. Just right off the outstretched hands of Craig Ellis.
Holder is going to win $3,500.
Ellis with a pair of touchdowns last week. And here's Sean Fleming, who has to have the adrenaline really going after that 51-yarder earlier. He'll try to kick the Eskimos back into the lead. From 20 yards out, Fleming is good. And the Eskimos regain the lead. It's 13-11 here in the second quarter. Concern about Tracy Ham, at least enough to have Tom Mickey warming up. Not much there, but he seemed to have jammed a hand, and so Tom Mickey, who did such an extraordinary job in relief of Ham against the Argos, is ready if needed. Eric Mitchell broke 1 tackle and gets out to the 32-yard line.
And without a doubt, getting back to Tom Mickey for a second, his performance against the Toronto Argonauts earlier in the season showed that he is very, very capable of coming in and running this attack at the Edmonton Eskimos. I don't think you're going to get Tracy Ham out of there during this Labor Day Classic today.
Mickey warms up, and Doug Flutie's on fire. Flutie has completed 11 consecutive passes to open this game. The CFL record is 18 straight. Make it 12 in a row. Pee Wee Smith out to the 42-yard line.
Pee Wee Smith takes the Doug Flutie pass, gets out to the 43-yard line for a Calgary first down.
Super job that time by Dave Sapunches. It's a quad set to the wide side of the field. All Doug Flutie has done is step back, throws the hitch pass. Sapunches comes off and makes a great block downfield on Willie Pless that allows Pee Wee Smith to pick up that yardage.
First down for the Stampeders, their own 43-yard line, trailing 13-11 here, midway through the second quarter. Flutie flagged down, complete to Alan Pitts. His first catch, and he got a rough ride from Enos Jackson, and a flag is down.
Enos Jackson applied the headlock.
Going against Edmonton. And it's 13 straight for Doug Flutie.
Face mask, Edmonton number 17. First down, Calgary.
Eddie Thomas called, and they tack on the 15.
Eddie Thomas and Crawford were matched up one-on-one on the outside, and as Crawford made the move to him on the outside to get around him, Eddie Lee Thomas put the hand out, grabbed the hold of the face mask. The ref was right there on the spot to make the call.
First down, Stamps. Flutie with all kinds of time. There's the first incompletion. The pass behind Derek Crawford. So Joe Paupau's record set in 1979 as a BC Lion against the Toronto Argonauts is safe for another game. Well, it is quite a sight here at McMahon Stadium today. 38,205. That shot supplied to us by Canadian Helicopters with Kathy Moore, the pilot, and our cameraman Dave Ray. And this city has been turned on to football by an exciting football club and their quarterback, Doug Flutie. Flutie almost lost his footing, gets it away. Sapunjis has a first down as he's wrapped up at the 30-yard line.
Incomplete to Dave Sapunjis.
But the Canadian slot back continues to be a great outlet receiver for Doug Flutie.
Play in and play out, Doug Flutie continues just to absolutely intrigue me with his athletic ability. Never say never, never say die. Keeps working. He's looking downfield, gets the slippery feet, has hands all over him. Sapunjis and the receivers, everyone knows down until they hear the whistle, till they see Doug Flutie laying on the ground. Keep working to get open, and Dave Sapunjis did, and Doug Flutie found him to keep this drive alive.
Flutie under the gun again, gets away, buys some time, looks for Sapunjis, and that one's out of bounds. Here's Mark.
Sails out of bounds.
On Tracy Ham's situation, at first the Eskimos had us think that he was winded, but upon closer inspection we have learned that he was the recipient of a cheap shot, a punch to the groin area, and that's what's given him the pain, but he will be returning to this football game. The Gizmo has also jammed his thumb, had it taped up. He'll also be back, so 2 minor injuries on the Edmonton side.
All part of Labor Day in Calgary when Edmonton and Calgary clash. Second down, Stampeders. In the flat, there's a completion. The always reliable Carl Bland is close to a first down. Working against the rookie Damian Lyons. And it is a first down.
Carl Bland, the key receiver last week, 9 catches for 102 yards. Doug Flutie has plenty of time to throw the ball. And what Bland does on the outside is he gets Damian Lyons turns. He fakes like he's going on the streak pattern down to the corner, gets Damian turned, and then he wheels around on the curl, and he and Doug Flutie match up absolutely perfectly.
16-yard line, Stampeders, first down. Flutie has time, end zone, Pitts, great touchdown.
Souvenir upstairs to these very rewarding fans here.
He led the CFL in catches with 118 last year, just his 44th of this season. He's seen a lot of extra coverage this year, but he still has that great athletic ability to haul a pass like that down.
Perfect coverage as they looked like they had double. They had under coverage with Enos Jackson. Damian Lyons over top. But what Doug Flutie did was to lay that ball up top and have Pitts go up high. That 6'4" came down with a big score.
Stamps back on top.
Great leaping ability, and he went up high to bring down that 6 points.
And again, we're seeing solid special teams work by the Stampeders as they snuff out that return by Craig Ellis. Just an 8-yard return as Tracy Ham goes back in.
Special teams isn't attitude, it's just a desire. It is wanting to get down. There's not a lot of notoriety. There's not a lot of hoopla about this. You're not going to get famous being this. It is just wanting to get the job done. And Calgary's recovery team and their specialty teams are doing a great job, just a great attitude of shutting down a very, very electrifying Edmonton specialty team offense.
Fourth possession for the Eskimos. They had scored on the first 3, a touchdown and 2 field goals. Michael Souls wrapped up by Matt
Michael
Finley,
Stoll,
here's
ball
Mark.
carrier for the Eskimos.
Chris, coming up on Live at the Half, we will talk with Calgary owner Larry Rickman about the huge success story here in Stampede Town to sell out here today, the Labor Day record. We'll also have highlights from the Saskatchewan 32-20 win over Winnipeg, and go live to Scott Oak at Iverwin Stadium, where a sellout awaits their Labor Day game with the Argonauts.
Second down for
Sellouts right across the board. Also at Taylor Field, over 29,000 there yesterday. Chris Armstrong on the flat has a first down. Carl Anthony pushes him out of bounds. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Ron Lancaster's old club, at 5-4, will only be 4 points behind the first place team at the halfway mark. Don Matthews' team could very well be a factor in this race for first place in the second half.
Number 13 yards.
3:03 to go, first half here. And Tracy Ham with a first down at his own 36. And Ham scrambled out, was tripped up by Stu Laird.
Tripped up by the fireman, Stu Laird.
Right at the last minute, just the fireman, Stu Laird, was able to come in there, get a arm out there, and trip Tracy Ham.
The beat goes. Dan, there were a lot of questions last week about Tracy Ham, just 29 yards rushing, only 14 completions. And many wondered, is he still hurt? And he looked tentative, but that's not the case today.
I don't think so. I think Tracy right now, as it goes, he has great confidence. And with that confidence that he does play in and play out, he gets better and better as the game gets longer. As you can see right now, just a great ad-lib himself. Fakes the handoff back inside to Blake Marshall. Tracy continues to get more success, and he gets more confidence. It seems like the more that he tests his leg, he tests that kind of confidence that he has. He wants to challenge himself, and as he does, and as he rises to those occasions, and he gets more success with the challenges that he does, then he continues to play extremely well, and he is going to be a very big asset for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Both quarterbacks have put on a great show so far this afternoon. Ham 21 yards on that carry, now has a completion to Craig Ellis, who has pushed out of bounds at the Calgary 38. And Craig Ellis, for the 111th consecutive game, has a completion that's third all-time in the CFL. Tony Gabriel has the record at 137.
One-on-one coverage. Good job. Tracy has a good vision of sight downfield as he sees Craig Ellis, and Tracy is doing extremely well as far as marching the ball, being very patient, picking and choosing, taking exactly what the Calgary defense will give him.
Second and a yard, and Marshall has the first down, crashing inside the 35.
5-yard line to the Calgary 33. He's got the Edmonton first down.
Harold Hasselback, who's having a fine year at defensive tackle for the Stampeders, made the tackle there.
Chris Morris, the rookie, just working. All he has to do is make Cofield hit him, release upfield. The trap is coming behind him, and then he goes down and tries to get inside on one of the outside linebackers and to make another block. There's a very strong air of confidence with that Edmonton offensive line right now.
And downfield, that one lands between Armstrong and Ellis. There's a flag down on the other side of the field.
Completely away from the play, Chris, on the far side of the field.
There is a flag down on the far side.
And it's another call against the Stamps.
Looks to be a pass interference call. One that gets sometimes a kind of a questionable situation.
Forward pass interference. Calgary number 19. 15-yard penalty. First down, Edmonton.
Carl Anthony on the other side of the field. And those are the kind that Wally Bono doesn't like to see.
That brings the ball to the Stampeder 18-yard line.
18-yard line, the ball is spotted.
Down.
First down, Edmonton. They have yet to punt in this game. Ham with time. Has a wide open receiver. It's Jay Christensen, touchdown. The former BC Lion, a reserve slot back, has a big smile. That's his first catch as an Eskimo.
Not too flashy, not too speedy, but he just gets the job done. And Tracy did a good job that time of calling the play, calling the number, going back against Carl Anthony again, and thinking that maybe Carl Anthony was thinking about the penalty that he just got on the previous play. And when he did, Christensen had a chance to turn him around and come up with a big score.
Well, Ron Lancaster told us yesterday, I want more production out of my slot backs, but maybe he was giving us a hint, but I didn't expect it would come from Jay Christensen.
I'm not so sure that Jay Christensen expected that he would get a chance to show, but he's the kind of guy that you want to see. Once you have an opportunity to get in there, he knows that his chances of coming in there are very few and far and in between, that a chance that when he does have an opportunity, make something happen, and that may enhance him and give him an opportunity to stay in there a little longer.
And it's extra sweet for Jay Christensen, who spent 4 years here in Calgary as a member of the Stampeders. Tracy Ham and Doug Flutie are putting on a show here at McMahon. 20-18, Eskimos lead, 1:37 left here in the first half, and the latest drive, 90 yards for the Eskimos. Punter Glenn Harper has had a great seat at the Eskimo bench. He has not been called upon in this first half.
On both sides of the ball, though, these teams defensively have got to be concerned about how they're going to be able to stop a Tracy Ham and a Doug Flutie from just running in a horse race up and down this field, back and forth.
Sean Fleming has it on the tee. And this one comes down to Pee Wee at the 11-yard line. Smith out to the 40, and a lot more by Fleming, who just got a piece of him and ran him out of bounds. We talked about it in the opening. Both teams have game breakers on specialty teams, and Pee Wee Smith just set it up nicely for the offense.
You've been trained as a kicker, as Sean Fleming stood there to kick a 51-yard field goal with some confidence. But there is nothing that can train you in your heart race, particularly from a kicker, that all of a sudden, through the whole pass, there's a gap open up, and you see you're one-on-one with a guy like Pee Wee Smith. There's a certain flutter in your heart that happens, that takes place, that you just choke. He was able to move one leg to the right, get an arm, and push Pee Wee out of bounds.
53 yards on the kickoff. Here's an open ball and an Eskimo interception. That ball was tipped, and it was open season, and it looks like Doug Parrish came down with the football for Edmonton. The first turnover goes to the Eskimos.
As we can see this, I guess, hopefully on a replay, that at this point, Doug Parrish was laying on his back when he picked up this interception. Doug Flutie's got plenty of time, and all of a sudden, Lloyd Lewis, the big defensive lineman, comes in, breaks into the middle, and there he is, Doug Parrish, picking up the ball, watching it tumble in front of him, and getting a key interception for the Eskimos.
First of the year for Parrish, and it is the 16th interception of the season for Doug Flutie. Ham going to try and capitalize right away, looking for Williams, incomplete. Errol Tucker, stride for stride.
Ham was looking for Gizmo Williams along the right sideline. Errol Tucker was there, and it fell incomplete. Second down and 10.
Never fails with a lot of teams that after a big play of turnover, a fumble recovery, an interception like that, that the offensive quarterback wants to come out of there and hit it with the big home run play, the next play, and try to make something really happen, as in the case that they did with Henry Gizmo Williams there.
The Eskimos have made the most of their possession so far today. Both teams moving the football up and down this McMahon Stadium turf. And scrambling out with Johnson in pursuit, and he gets there.
Will Johnson runs down.
Ham just got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think it will be ruled a sack, but Johnson will take it as he tracked down
Actually gained 2 yards.
Tracy Ham after a gain of 2.
For the Eskimos.
Tracy did a great job right here. He's got Will Johnson beat, but as he slows down because he's trying to turn his shoulders, look downfield, you see Michael Souls trying to come back right at the last minute to pick up Will Johnson, but he's ineffective in that. Will Johnson showing some great determination and speed, tracking down Tracy Ham.
Here's Glenn Harper.
I didn't know whether they even dressed him today. Of course, if I was Glenn Harper, I'd feel pretty pretty terrible about maybe going and picking up my paycheck on this game unless he's going to kick, you know, a few more times.
Well, Harper will get his first kick of the game. Tony Martino, his counterpart for Calgary, has punted once and booted a 47-yard single.
Glenn Harper.
Minute 8
for the
is plenty of time
Eric
for Doug
Crawford,
Flutie
Pee-wee Smith are back for Calgary.
to do some damage for the Stampeders. And it again will be Pee-wee Smith at his 21. Up across the 30 to the 32.
Harper's punt
And
travels
so
50 yards.
check that Doug Flutie has exactly 1 minute to go
11.
in this
Tackle
first half.
by Blake Dermott for the Eskimos.
Talking to
Stampeders
defensive coach
scrimmage,
Stubler of the
first and
Eskimos,
10,
he
they're on
pointed out
32.
that last week Flutie did most of his damage in the final minute of the first half and the final minute of the second half. That's when Flutie really rolled up the yards, and a sign of a great quarterback.
Eskimo defense, they were very happy with the way they played for about 58 minutes of that ball game last week.
Well, you take the first 57 minutes, they only allowed Flutie 92 yards in passing. Pee-wee Smith with the
Pee-wee
catch
Smith on the receiving end
over
of
the
that
40 to the
Flutie
41.
pass.
He
gets
has
close
a
to
gain
10
of
yards
9.
before being taken down by
Stephen Jordan in on the tackle for the Eskimos.
Defensively, in this case, with a minute to go, you think if the Edmonton Eskimos are playing soft, they're a little bit more in a prevent, they're going to allow that. And Doug Flutie will take advantage of that, throw the ball underneath to all of this whole core of receivers, and he can make a lot of things happen and move this ball down into field goal range that have the chance of possibly giving them the lead going into halftime.
2nd and 1. Flutie pitches to McVeigh. He'll get the first down and get out of bounds at the 45.
Flip to Andy McVeigh. He goes out of bounds after a gain of
It's got to be a surprise play when you come down to at the line of scrimmage on the quarterback option, and all of a sudden that fleet, speedy running back is your guy, McVeigh. There he is. Andy is able to hold on to the ball for one thing and then also pick up the first down.
39 seconds to go. As we watch Flutie use the clock. And the flat incomplete. Was looking for Pitts. Pitts thought he caught that one in front of Enos Jackson.
2nd down and 10, Stampeders.
Great job right there. Right at the end, Enos Jackson just absolutely jammed Pitts right at the last minute, and you can see that the ball slid. It's close. It's very questionable.
Tell you what, the official had a whole bench of Eskimos helping him make the call. Incomplete. 2nd down. 4 receivers right. Flutie rolling right. In the flat, there's Pee-wee Smith, first down at the 55, and he was ridden out heavily.
For the Stampeders.
Close to a first down. That was Doug Parrish that forced him out.
Misdirection, counter bootleg coming back against the punches from the slot, coming back in to close off and seal off that corner and allowed Doug Flutie to be able to get outside, and then Pee-wee Smith is able to break it to the out pattern and then does a very heads-up play, getting the ball out of bounds and stopping the clock.
Half minute to go, first half. Eskimos leading 20-18. Stampeders try to drive into scoring position. First down, Flutie dumps it off to Eric Mitchell. 45, fumbles, loose ball is picked up by Trent Brown, the safety, and the U of A product has the 2nd turnover for Calgary, snuffing out
number 28,
a potential scoring opportunity for the Stampeders.
Doug had marched them down and got them in exactly in the position that they wanted to do. They had dumped this off to a little screen pass to Mitchell 2 times earlier in the game. The Edmonton Eskimos are in the zone defense, laying back, and then having to close up on him. Trent Brown comes up with a big fumble recovery.
Eric Mitchell fumbled last week, and it was Leroy Blue who knocked the ball out of the hands of Eric Mitchell. Now Ham has 19 seconds to get the ball downfield. Incomplete. Intended receiver there, Chris Armstrong.
His pass for Chris Armstrong came up 2 bounces short.
Interesting that both teams have 4 receivers potentially could go over 1,000 yards each in the season. No team has ever had 4 receivers in 1 year go over 1,000.
Better yet, we've got 8 of them on the field here in this stadium at the same time that can go over 1,000 yards. That's some great talent.
2nd and 10. And it's Souls in the flat.
And pass intended for Michael Souls.
And all of a sudden, it's a busy stage of the game for Glenn Harper, who will have to come back and kick it away on 3rd down.
Tracy and Rod Knopf having some communication out there saying what about a blocking plan, or exactly why Tracy got that heat right in his face right at the last minute that didn't allow him to complete the pass to Michael Souls out in the flat. Rod Knopf, one of the best in the business at that offensive line, offensive center position.
Just the first game of our Labor Day Classic doubleheader tonight. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, who have restored the roar, entertain the Grey Cup champion Toronto Argonauts.
Very close on the block.
Harper just got it away. Pee-wee Smith gets out of bounds as
47
the clock runs out here in the first half. And McMahon
runs it back full.
And the score at the end of 30 minutes of football, Eskimos 20, Stampeders 18.
As opposed to Calgary out of 11. That was one of the things Ron Lancaster felt that he had to do, was to come in here and establish the running game to actually open up the passing of Tracy Ham.
Doug Flutie opened this game red hot, 13 straight pass completions. And Tracy Ham answered Flutie's opening drive with a touchdown scoring march of his own. And he has looked very much in control as we start the second half at McMahon Stadium. This, the 22nd Labor Day Classic between these two teams. Gizmo couldn't find the handle, and down he goes.
Gizmo Williams having trouble finding the handle at the 18-yard line.
And maybe he's just a little anxious. He got shut down last week, and you know he wants to make something happen, but just 5 yards on that run back.
Giz takes a lot of things on himself. He wants to make a lot of things happen out there, but once that big hop happens and he misses it, now the ball's fumbling around on the thing. Now he's got to try to keep his eyes open and look at those defenders pressing down on top of it, and also keep his eyes on trying to recover that football at the same time.
They got to the show last year, and Calgary Stampeder fans are looking for the drought to end. Last Grey Cup here in 1971. In fact, a lot of talk here in Calgary about this city hosting a Grey Cup in 1994, and I think it would be a terrific idea, especially the way the fans have embraced this team. Michael Souls out of bounds as the Eskimos continue to move the ball on the ground.
Knocked out of bounds by Ken Watson and a
Great block, and this is where they feel again that established that running game inside, just to counter with the trap play. Randy Ambrosi leading Michael Souls out in front, gets a good block on Matt Finley, and allows Michael Souls to turn the corner and gets up there, and he loves to hit those defensive backs coming in on him. He's a very physical running back.
Eskimos have 3 of the top 10 rushers in the CFL. Blake Marshall 5th, Tracy Ham 7th, and Michael Souls is 10th. And here's Marshall, tripped up that time across the 30-yard line.
Crosses the 30, gets to about the 32.
And he will have just enough for the first down.
By Darrell Hall for the Stampeders.
And a look at Marshall's numbers from the first half.
Eskimo
again.
First down.
Still waiting the first 100-yard game for an Eskimo running back this year, despite their success on the ground.
Only carried the ball 10 times for 67 yards last week. Again, he's very much on track. It's important that both of those guys equally carry so that Calgary defense can't key on just one out.
Ham, the quick hitter to Armstrong, and as soon as he got the football, Junior Thurman knocked him to the turf.
But also the hit from Junior Thurman.
Good concentration by Armstrong on the inside. Tracy just stands up. Quick read. Now he puts the ball on the rope out there. Thurman comes up, makes a good contact, but Armstrong makes a big catch. He only caught one pass last week. It's important, again, we talked about slots. This guy has to be more involved in the offense and with Tracy Ham.
7 yards for 77 that time. It's 2nd and 3. And again, Marshall tries the right side. Well, defense that time. Usually Marshall's going north and south. That time, the Stamp defense caught him going east and west, and Carl Anthony made the tackle.
He's one of those fullbacks you do not want to see head-on going north and south. But when you can get him running laterally, the speed and the closing down of that Calgary defense that time forced him to have to go east and west, and as he broke it outside, he loses some of that speed, loses some of that power, and he wasn't able to turn the corner and get it upfield for the first down.
Stampeders at the Sky Dome in late November.
Atlanta Harper in for his third punt of the game. Pee-wee Smith and Derek Crawford have dropped deep. Derek Crawford has had a punt return for a touchdown on Labor Day against the Eskimos. Pee-wee Smith drops the football here, runs into his own blocker, may have lost the ball again. And we'll wait for them to unpile, but that return was in trouble from the time Harper hit it.
Outside the Calgary 20-yard line, the officials unpiling them.
51-yard Harper punt, and somehow the Stamps did get the ball back. Wow.
Good booming pump that time by Harper. Good hang time, allowed the coverage team of the Edmonton Eskimos to get downfield, and there again the ball just goes right between his hands, and then Edmonton Eskimos defenders and recoverers are all over top of it.
Anxious moment there for Wally Buono, whose team committed 2 turnovers late in the first half, but came away unscathed. Doug Flutie opens the second half on the roll. Now brings it down, and Flutie out of bounds, past Willie Bless, and stepped out at the 30-yard line.
To the 30.
Doug comes out and runs the quad receivers, 4 receivers to the wide side, sprints out to that side, and what he wants to try to do is come up and hook up with Smith on the curl pattern. Underneath that, Willie Pless does a great job in the middle linebacker being able to slide all the way out, get underneath that, and force Doug Flutie to have to tuck the ball down and then run, and then Willie was able to push him out of bounds.
Well, he is a durable quarterback. He'll run a lot, and yet was the only signal caller in the league to play all 18 games last year. Picked off by Larry Ruck. Second interception thrown by Flutie.
Intercepted.
And this turnover may hurt.
Number 47, Larry Ruck, who runs it back.
What a great reception by Larry Ruck at that time. Looking to the inside curl, sees Doug Flutie release the ball, jumps high in the air for the end.
Dan, I didn't know middle linebackers had such great hands.
They got great hands, and who said white guys can't jump? Take a look at this. This is Larry Ruck right here. Doug Flutie's going to sprint out of here, and he wants to throw to Sponges coming over. Ruck slides in and makes it right here. Take a look at it. As he comes in, Doug Flutie doesn't see him to the right of his screen. Larry Ruck gets up high, tips the ball, comes down with a big interception.
Michael Souls tries the right side, hopped over one man, and as he's tackled, a flag is thrown. Souls pushed out at the 22 after a gain of 5 to 6 yards. Looks like this is going against the Eskimos.
They're walking a long ways back. Look like it could be a holding call.
Holding, Edmonton number 16. First down repeated.
That's the right tackle, the rookie Chris Morris.
It'll be 1st and 20 Eskimos at the Stampeders 37.
Conop, Verschoval, Ambrosi, Morris, Dermott. That's the offensive line that really is one of the keys to this running attack of the Eskimos. Who says they don't run in the CFL anymore? Ham over the middle, and Sandusky can't catch up with the football.
Ham, pass intended for Jim Sandusky at the 5-yard line, falls to the turf. Carl Anthony and Greg Knox were there defending. 2nd and 20,
another
Edmonton.
shot from the helicopter. And a capacity crowd at McMahon Stadium. Kathy Moore, the pilot, and these pictures furnished by Canadian Helicopters and our cameraman, Dave Ray. Quite a sight here in the foothills.
They think they're rocking at the Brian Adams concert. There are some people having a great time here. This is full of excitement.
Second down, 20 for the Eskimos. Pressure on Ham, and they get to him. A Ham sandwich back at the 47-yard line.
Alonzo Johnson, his main man, coming from the middle linebackers, defeats Michael Souls right at the point of attack. That was a team sack that he came through. They brought out everybody as Tracy's a little lackadaisical coming out from behind the center, and they're coming with Cofield and also with Johnson. Cofield coming from the backside. Tracy had absolutely no place to go.
Alondra Johnson came into this game the leading tackler in the CFL with 48. And he got plenty of help from Tim Cofield, who was the defensive star of last year's Western Final between these two teams. And so the Calgary defense responds. The interception put Edmonton in great field position, but the Stampeders D pushed them back into a punting situation, and Carl Anthony almost had the block. Pee-wee Smith caught from behind, dropped for a loss as we go back down to Mark.
Chris, I just finished talking with Calgary running back Eric Mitchell. Asked him why they've only got a handful of yards on the ground so far. He seemed to question the play calling so far in this game, saying the running game is still there, but that the Calgary Stampeders are a bit too anxious for the big play, biting too much off, too anxious to move down the field quickly. He thinks that they should maybe look for the shorter stuff and take their time.
Well, we'll see what kind of play selection Doug Flutie comes up with here. Mitchell was a key man in the opening drive of the game, hasn't been as much of a factor since. First down, and they start from their own 9. Flutie. Pitts can't hang on, another pick. And this time you can't blame the quarterback. That went right through the usually sure hands of Alan Pitts. And Willie Pless, another linebacker, has an interception.
He's down immediately.
Great job that way of underneath coverage. Again, it had nothing to do with Doug Flutie. As Doug Flutie faked the toss to Mitchell, came out to the left side. He's going to throw the ball on the line to Pitts. The ball goes right through his hands. Just lack of concentration right there. And then Stephen Jordan and Willie Pless, they fight over. Those linebackers win the fight and the arguments over interception. They don't get a chance to get many of them. And Willie Pless comes up with a big interception.
And now 4 turnovers in the game for Calgary. It hasn't cost them any points yet. But the Eskimos are in great shape here. Michael Souls, not much right up the middle. Matt Finley hanging on.
Miscue a bit in the backfield there with Michael Souls and Tracy. That wasn't a clean exchange, not a clean handoff as Tracy came out from behind the center. And Michael had to kind of alter his stride as he was heading toward the line of scrimmage.
Another ex-linebacker looks on. By the way, second interception of the year for Platz. Second down, Eskimos. And that far to go.
Halfback blitz.
Ham gets it away. Ellis, end zone. Touchdown. Flag went down. Ellis was interfered, but still caught the football. And Tracy Ham was really pounded after he released the ball.
Absolutely rocked that time. Carl Anthony, the halfback blitz, wide open, missed him up. Tracy's looking to his left, downfield to Craig Ellis. Stands in there, and Anthony absolutely, as I said, rocked Tracy as he released the ball. Craig Ellis did a great job in concentrating and tucking that in for the touchdown.
Little piece of history for Craig Ellis, his 82nd touchdown all time. Ties Normie Kwong for 7th on the all-time list, and Normie needs no introduction in Edmonton or in Calgary. So the Eskimos get the extra point and now have a 9-point lead.
Stampeders 18.
Ron Lancaster, in assessing what his offense had to do today, said Tracy Ham has to be sharp, and we need production out of the slot backs. Touchdown to Craig Ellis. Earlier, it was Jay Christensen.
Right there, it just looked great as Tracy, and you can see right at the last minute, he takes the shot by Anthony right in the back. It's a lot better to take the shot in the back than to take it on the chin. Tracy will rise up like that to be able to play another series.
Eric Mitchell drops the ball. And so on 2 consecutive kick returns, trouble for the Stampeder returners.
Eric Mitchell.
When you have 2 very basic and balanced teams that are playing against one another, obviously it comes down to who's going to make the least errors. And right now, that's why the Edmonton Eskimos are ahead, is because of the errors that the Calgary Stampeders are making, both in their specialty teams and also in some miscues on their receptions.
At the Calgary 16.
You almost wonder if they're trying too hard to please this crowd. It's a record crowd, over 38,000, and instead of feeding off the enthusiasm, they seem to be a little uptight at this stage. There's a tackle in the backfield by Benny Goods.
Yanked down in the backfield by Benny Goods.
And the running game of Calgary's has been derailed.
Loss of about 3 on
Benny
the
Goods,
play.
from a defensive point of view, they're very excited about him now. He's finally got his weight down to where he's very playable around the 260 mark, and he creates a lot of havoc in the middle of that line that he plays for. Again, all he did was penetrate the trap there, got deep penetration, did not allow Mitchell to even get started on this once the ball was handed off to him.
Eric Mitchell on the ground now, 3 carries, -5 yards, and it's 2nd and 13. Flutie with time, has Bland, spins away, and Carl Bland with some extra effort gets the first down.
A gain of 13 yards. Close to a Stampeder first down. It is.
Comes back to technique again. Here, Doug Flutie has got plenty of time to throw the ball. Mickey's warming up on the sideline for whatever reason. As I say, Ron Lancaster speaking to him earlier in the week, he has no qualms that if Tracy was to get injured or needed to be pulled out, to put a guy like Tom Mickey in, because he is a very solid performer in that backup role.
First down, Calgary, 27-yard line. Flutie in the flat, a flag is down. Pee-wee Smith out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Receiving end of that Flutie toss, the gain of 6. He is pushed out of bounds by
Gain of
Damian
6,
Lyons,
but
number 10 of the Eskimos. The flag is down.
it'll be wiped out by this penalty, which the Stampeders will take instead.
When it comes down to game fights now, everyone's going to have one out there, and that looked like that was Alan Pitts against Enos Jackson. And I think as Enos just put the level on, put the elbow right up into his mouth and knocked Pitts right down. Let's take a listen.
Forward pass interference. Edmonton number 14. 15-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
7:18 to go, 3rd quarter, and here's what happened.
It's Doug Parrish coming from the right-hand side of your screen. Just kind of takes the shot at him. You're allowed to take a jam on the receiver if he's in your path, if you're head up to him. But when you try to jam him from the offside or the backside, as Doug Parrish did, you're going to get the call.
7 deep backs in for Edmonton. They hand it off to Mitchell. Not much there again.
Eric Mitchell, the ball carrier for the Stampeders, gets back to the line
Wade
of scrimmage.
Odom, Lloyd Lewis
was there
in on the stop. Willie Pless was there as well.
Also in on the tackle, Dwayne Odom.
This is a straight draw play. This is the first time that we've seen that situation. Odom's coming in from the offside. Pless coming in. Lloyd is there. Everything is swarming. This is a pumped-up Edmonton defense right now. Get after him.
Eskimo defense protecting a 9-point lead. 6.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and a long 10 over the middle. Sapunjas at midfield. Another first down for Calgary. And after Doug Flutie delivered that, he was belted.
Oh, yeah.
Tackle for the Eskimos by Eddie Thomas.
Flutie comes up smiling despite really being cranked by Willie Pless.
Gets absolutely rocked. Willie Pless comes from the backside, and Lewis comes right up the front, right in the chin, and just puts the shot on him. Doug Flutie jumps up quicker than both of those guys. That's the one thing. You never let them see you sweat, and you never let them see that it hurts.
Down to the 49-yard line of the Eskimos. Play action. Pressure, and down he goes. Dwayne Odom got to Flutie that time.
Sacked in the Calgary
At the Calgary 45.
Dwayne Odom in for the Eskimos.
And yes, there are some Eskimo fans here at McMahon Stadium.
Doug Flutie's got plenty of time. He usually likes to do that little patented whirl around and zip out from his right-hand side, but he could not do it as Odom had great penetration. The one thing that you do is you get upfield and you rush to the outside shoulder of that quarterback, and if he's going to go anywhere, he has to go inside you.
2nd and about 25. Flutie to pitch, picked off by Enos Jackson. Flag goes down. Jackson stopped at the 53-yard line, but it's the 5th turnover of this game for the Stampeders.
Great reaction by Enos Jackson as he turns around, picks the interception up, and then as he comes in, it's going to be a clipping call on the return, and I think the Edmonton Eskimos will retain possession.
Enos Jackson, his 2nd interception of the season.
Had 8 tackles last week. Pitts is running down the seam, makes the move inside, but the quick reaction of Enos coming from the right part of your screen. Boom, there's the pick, comes underneath it, makes the tackle, returns it upfield, but they got a clipping block, so the ball was brought back. Edmonton retained possession.
Ron Lancaster said he would match Enos Jackson against any receiver in the league. He's working against one of the best, if not the best, in Alan Pitts. Pass in the flat, and Ham has a completion to Craig Ellis. At the 39.
Ham's pass complete to Craig Ellis.
Enos Jackson, not only does he have the physical ability, but he has the attitude. He has a serious attitude out there that he will challenge absolutely everybody that comes off the line of scrimmage, and he feels on every play he is going to beat you. He is going to whip you up and down the field.
2nd and 4 for the Eskimos. Right side, Michael Souls plunges for the first down near the 45.
For Edmonton. Gets up to the 44-yard line.
Michael Souls showed some great quickness there. Alonzo Johnson, middle linebacker, was blitzing on the left-hand guard center gap coming from the right-hand side of your screen. And then all of a sudden, as Michael sees that middle linebacker all of a sudden eliminating, getting out of the area, makes the cut back across and fills the open void left by Alonzo Johnson.
Souls 7 carries, 43 yards. Ham in traffic has Gizmo for a completion.
Ham's pass is complete to Gizmo Williams.
Kenton Leonard knocked him back.
Kenton Leonard knocked him down.
Kenton Leonard, talking with Wally Bono, has been absolutely probably the best defensive player, steady, consistent on this Calgary team this year. He's been extremely pleased with it.
Canadian is very
He's the kind of guy that can go one-on-one against the guy at his speed with Henry Gizmo Williams.
Go get him,
Doug Flutie looking on, has served up a league-high 19th interception this year on his last series, after starting out with 13 consecutive completions. 3 minutes, 22 seconds to go here. 3rd quarter.
Here it is, everybody. It's
Stampeders have not won 3 in a row against the Eskimos, including playoffs, since 1965. They're trying to end that skid today. Haven't won a season series against the Eskimos since 71. And with a win today, could change that. But they're in tough, down by 9 here. 2nd down, and the Eskimos get the first easily on another Souls carry.
Gets close to 5 yards.
This is an ideal situation that Tracy Ham likes to be in, as far as the point that they have the lead. They have great confidence with the offense as far as being able to rush the ball against this Calgary defense. So therefore, it doesn't challenge Tracy right now that he has to make anything big happen. Be consistent, hold on to the ball, and make first downs, and they're going to come out of here and have a great chance for a possibility for a win.
First down, Edmonton now in Calgary territory at the 52, and it's Souls again. And he has 4, maybe 5 more.
For the Eskimos.
Now, conversely, on the other side of the ball, what you've got to do from a Calgary defensive point of view is to get a little more intimidating. You've got to start tackling the ball. You know they're going to carry the ball. They're going to try to rush it against you. Start getting your helmet, tackling the ball, grabbing it, trying to rip it out of Blake Marshall or Michael Souls' hands or the receiver's hands when they dump it quick and create a turnover. You've got to get the ball back in the hands of Doug Flutie.
The number 1 rushing offense against the number 5 passing or rushing defense. This time they're passing, and Ham in the flat has a completion at the 40, and it is a first down, although you can hear the Stamps bench
is caught on the sideline,
saying that Craig Ellis wasn't in bounds, but he had at least 1 foot in.
It's a gain of 6 and an Edmonton first down.
That counter fake coming out again, and again it's Will Johnson putting the heat and the rush on Tracy Ham, forcing him to turn it, but then Craig Ellis does a great job of getting downfield, turning, then coming backfield and trying to find an open spot where Tracy can put the ball through him.
Wally Bono's defense has to dig in right now. Down by 9. And the Eskimos driving. First down at the Stamp 40. Souls. 35. Down to the 31. 9 more for Michael Souls.
Ken Watson.
Tripped up that time by Ken Watson.
Londra Johnson, the middle linebacker, and there's Randy Ambrosi pulling, coming down. Blake Marshall, the tackle, slides down inside, blocks Alondro Johnson to the inside. Randy Ambrosi traps to the outside, and that is what creates the seam that Michael Souls was able to hit.
Eskimos winning the power game right now, 2nd and 1. And that should be another first down as Marshall gets across the 30.
Gain of
The
3.
biggest concern, and one of the biggest concerns that Wally Bono had last week, was the fact that they, as a
First down,
defensive unit,
Eskimos at the
lost the
Calgary
battle
28.
at the point of attack, which is the line of scrimmage. And again, you can see right for yourself now that the Edmonton Eskimos have taken dominance of that line of attack and that point of attack.
How about this for balance? Eskimos, 24 rushing plays, 23 passing plays. And they'll be even after this one. An incompletion. As Tracy Ham tried to hit Michael Souls, the McGill grad, out of the backfield, and would like to see a penalty as well.
Well, the pass that we saw earlier, this is the identical play to the other side that Tracy Ham overthrew when Michael Souls was wide open. Matt Finley got a grab of the cloth right there to slow him down a little bit. Michael Souls wanted the call, and that was the reason why that pass was incomplete.
Not far for the Eskimos. From the 28-yard line down to the goal line, and that's where Tracy Ham is aiming. 2nd and 10. Ham has Sandusky, turns away. Johnson came across, and Sandusky's close to the first down.
Alondra Johnson brought him
That's
down.
the final play of the 3rd quarter. The Eskimos have the lead and the football.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, the score. The Eskimos
For the Stampeders this year, they've outscored the opposition in the 1st quarter through the first 8 weeks, but have been outscored by the opposition in each of the 2nd and 3rd quarters this year. But the best quarter for the Stampeders this season has been the 4th. The worst for the Eskimos has been the 4th. Tracy Ham on a 3rd down, and Inches Gamble has the first down for Edmonton as we kick off this 4th quarter.
enough for the Edmonton first down.
Tracy Ham behind Rod Knopp and Pierre Vercheval on the left-hand side on that quarterback sneak. You got to tuck your chin way down low and get behind those guys, or some of those Calgary guys are going to be able to take a shot right up in your mouth, and it makes that quarterback sneak a little more testy.
Well, the 9-point bulge already. A lot of pressure on this Calgary defense to limit the damage to no more than 3 points. They haven't forced a turnover yet today, and I'm sure they'd love to get their hands on the football right now. Ham. I'm not sure that got there. Marshall, the intended, just 16 yards rushing for Calgary. And the 5 turnovers, the real story.
Absolutely, and then the point of the possession that Edmonton has really controlled the ball so much in the 3rd quarter.
The shotgun on 2nd and 10. And Ham might have been thinking run all the way to the 5. Dives, touchdown. He got the pylon, and it is a major for the Eskimos.
A 17-yard run for Ham.
Playing for a major score.
Sean Fleming adds the extra point. 13 minutes, 29 seconds left, 4th quarter, and it's a big 16-point lead for Ham and the Eskimos.
Stampeders, 8.
A potential injury to Ham's left wrist.
Just as he extended his hands to cross the ball across the goal line, looked like the head and helmet of Kenton Leonard came over and may have hit Tracy on the wrist again. This could have been the same wrist that he was having, or hand that he was having a little problem with earlier in the game.
Kicking it out again. This will be 5 yards further back. And the the rookie at his own 25. And this one's down the middle. Mitchell picks his way to the 35, but a pretty good job by that specialty team considering where the ball was kicked from. And can Doug Flutie get his Stamps back in it? Flutie has a receiver in the flat. Derek Crawford turns it up to the 45, just shy of a first down. Here's Mark Lee.
Chris, Tracy Ham just finished having a conversation with Ron Lancaster, and through it all, he was wincing in pain as he is right now. Here's Ronnie again talking to him. Tracy Ham has a bruised shoulder and will not return to this game right now. Tom Mickey warming up. He will go in the next series. Ham will rest the shoulder to see if he can return at a later time.
Right now his counterpart trying to get the Calgary offense going, and Mitchell dives off the right side for the first down. Receivers and Flutie out of the shotgun. Quick pass, and he has the completion to Pee-wee Smith. Just a gain of 4 on the play at the 50.
Willie Pless grabbed him from behind.
Six-pack, they're playing a 4 zone across the board, and all of a sudden Willie Pless shows you coming from the left-hand side of your screen. Great determination and great speed of being able to get over there and make the tackle on Pee-wee Smith before he's able to turn the ball upfield.
11:45 to go, fourth quarter. Flutie again from the shotgun. Has a man wide open, Eric Metcalf. Metcalf to the 15, hauled down from behind by Damian Lyons. And finally, the Stampeders, Eric Mitchell, with a 49-yard gain.
This is the team right now. The Edmonton Eskimos have to realize, as long as number 20 stands over on the other side of this field, do not at any point go to sleep. And they went to sleep, and they allowed Eric Mitchell to come from the outside. They played a soft zone, and then he showed some great running ability after he caught the ball.
Flutie, Sapunjas can't hang on right at the goal line. Flag down.
Hang on at the goal line, but there is a flag on the field. Number 14.
Offside Edmonton.
Was there to wave a look on him.
Hitz goes in motion. Flutie rolling left. Pulls it down, and down he goes. Oh, Willie Pless made a big defensive play there.
Willie Pless.
You couldn't get a better matchup of two great athletes than Doug Flutie against the Willie Pless. As he bootlegs out naked all by himself, he wants to throw the ball downfield. He rises the ball up. Willie Pless throws the hands up, but the main thing he does is he keeps his feet on the ground and continues running in pursuit of Doug Flutie. And as Doug draws the ball back down, it allows Willie Pless to make a big tackle.
Loss of 6. Second down, 11 yards to go. Flutie, end zone. Sapunjas can't catch up to it. He was open. And they'll have to settle for 3.
And the behind it, Flutie laid it out there just a little too long for Dave to come up with the catch.
They faked one of these last week without success. This time McLaughlin kicks it through. And so it's now a 13-point Eskimo lead. And now the defense of the Stampeders must dig in. Tracy Ham remains in the game at quarterback for Edmonton. Hands it off to Souls. Little slow developing, and Michael Souls limited to just a couple.
Takes the handoff, tries the left side.
Alondra Johnson there, Darrell Hall, and you could tell that play just wasn't going to be able to turn up.
Just an inside counter.
Big play for Alondra Johnson and the defense of Calgary. 2nd and 7. They go to number 7. Sandusky will be stopped short. Big hit by Kent Leonard, who Wally Bono feels is a candidate for All-Canadian status. And he comes up with a big play.
Not a problem. Sandusky's one of the guys, sure receiver, sure hands, runs great routes, and again, shows great determination in the sense that he knew the minute he caught that ball and turned his chin up the field that somebody was going to put an elbow in there, and Kent Leonard was the man.
You get into the
Third
game.
and just under 2 yards to go. So Glenn Harper comes in. The ball at the 43-yard line. The Eskimos have got a fake punt in, but this is A risky time to tie it.
Very risky in the sense that they felt the Calgary Stampeders won the battle last week on field position on exchanges in this situation. So there's a lot of pressure right now on this Calgary return team to get the ball in decent field position for Doug Flutie to operate.
I think the Eskimos are a man short here.
Be out there.
Let's see if the Stamps go after Harper. Pee-wee Smith drops the ball, and he'll just have to pounce on it. Boy, it's been a tough day for the returners of Calgary. Here's Mark Lee.
Chris, for 17 years, I have a lot of confidence in it. Well, thanks for coming back down the sidelines. I'll let you get back in your seat, on the edge of your seat. All right, thanks very much, Mark.
Chris, Mark Dave Sapunjas with a catch there. 7:37 to go in this game. Stampeders down by 13 as Doug Flutie tries to put together a scoring march.
Plenty of time, lots of throwing lanes, and what he does is, again, his key receiver, Sapunjas, finding the open area in that zone and hitting it.
Incomplete pass.
Flutie's pass is incomplete.
Look better, but the scoreboard tells a much different story. Flag down. Pressure on Flutie, who gets it away, and Pitts drops the ball. But there is a flag down. Looked like the Eskimos were a little anxious.
I think they may call it on Dwayne Odom's 36 coming from the top of the screen, jumped in that. We'll get the call.
Offside, Edmonton number 36, second down, repeat it.
You got to just contain that excitement.
They go back to the six-pack, 6 receivers and a quarterback draw. Flutie has the first down.
Doug Flutie.
He beat them last week with his running, 141 yards. He hasn't tried it much today.
They're going to block. You're going to see there's nobody in the area here. He sees it wide open. The experienced guy he is, reads the open area, hits the seams, gets in there and picks up a big first down.
Flutie over the middle. He was hit as he released the ball.
Flutie's pass is
Larry in Edmonton.
Wide receivers to the top of the screen.
Second down. Flutie looked backside, now over the middle. Pitts with the catch on a first down. Pitts had to go way up to bring that one down, and it was a key catch.
Larry Ruck applied the touch, but not before Pitts rolls for a first down.
Wide receivers to the right-hand side. Doug's rolling to the top of the screen, and then you see Pitts as he works back inside. Everything's moving to the left. Pitts goes to the right, finds the open area. Doug keeps that great vision, is able to put the ball on the money.
5:19 to go. Clock running. Flutie again. Intercepted. Damian Lyons. Right off the hands of Carl Bland, and Flutie has to make the tackle. Oh boy, that's another interception off the hands of the receiver.
He in turn is tackled by
and the Stampeders are running out of chances.
26-yard line.
Welcome back to McMahon Stadium, where Tracy Ham remains the starting quarterback for the Eskimos. Ham still hurting with a bruised shoulder, but they have left it up to him as to how long he can stay in this game, and the way things are going, he's loving it and staying in.
And he has a first down at the 26. Fake the handoff, and down he goes back at the 33.
At the Stampeder 34.
Loss of 7. Damian Lyons with his 6th interception of the season. That's second in the CFL, has set up the Eskimos here.
And able to pick up the ball, intercept it, and then you're going to see Doug Flutie come into your screen from the left, make the tackle to get him out of bounds.
Blake Marshall crashes down 15. Ball came loose. Who's got it?
Flag on the play.
Flag is also down.
Blake Marshall, the ball carrier.
Let's sort out the penalty and who came up with the ball. The Stampeders say they've got the ball. Stu Laird has it.
Holding, Edmonton number 57, decline. First down, Calgary.
Rod Conniff, the center, was called for holding, so the fumble recovery by Stu Laird holds. And what a big turnover that is. It keeps the Stampeders in the game.
Good play inside. One of the plays they've had great success with, winning it time and time and again. Inside, they called Rod Conniff, I think, for the holding penalty. big turnover. That this is what the Calgary defense, again, needed to do, was to create an opportunity for Doug Flutie to put some points on the board.
Big second chance with 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Flutie swings it out. Mitchell catches it. Mitchell stopped at the 19-yard line by Stephen Jordan, but Dwayne Odoms was thinking about 6 the other way. He can't believe he didn't catch it and that Mitchell did.
That's it. Some people carry a rabbit's foot. I think Doug Flutie's got the whole rabbit stuck somewhere. Big fan.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 in the flat. There's the completion. Eddie Thomas takes Carl Bland out of bounds. It's a first down.
Whether to stay with your normal attacking style, intimidating defense, or play it a little soft because he has the ability to move it up and down the field on you in that case.
They go back to Mitchell. Can't turn the corner, and he's pushed out of bounds near the 35. Looking on. Mitchell again has the first down.
Hand off to Eric Mitchell over the right side.
And although that's just a gain of 5, it's his longest rush of this game. 2:50 for Doug Flutie and the Calgary Stampeders. The wind appears to have changed direction in the last few minutes. They forecast that the winds would pick up late in the afternoon. It appeared that Flutie and the Stamps had the wind at their back earlier in this quarter, but now it looks like they're going right into it. First down. Quickly out in the flat. Carl Bland crosses midfield
Pee-wee Smith
into Edmonton territory. Check that. It's Pee-wee Smith with the catch. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go. And Flutie will operate without a huddle here.
Just quick hitch outside to Pee-wee Smith, running with authority, makes the cut, hits the seam. Guys are kind of being a little lackadaisical for the Edmonton defense. Got to get in pursuit to tackle those guys.
In the flat again. This time it's Derek Crawford, close to a first down. I'll tell you what, Pee-wee is not much of a guy to set the line on a game. He said it would be 21 points for the Stamps. We know that won't happen.
As Wally Bono says, be a man about it. Say what you feel. If Pee-wee actually felt that they were going to beat him by 21, say it, believe in it, and go out there and try to make it come to a truth.
I like the other thing Wally said. He made sure he got Pee-wee bigger shoulder pads because he knew the Eskimos would be taking shots at him. They'll get a chance here, but Pee-wee breaks the tackle, gets out of bounds.
He is throwing the ball quite short, picking the Edmonton defense apart if he can. He's not trying to go up for the home run ball at this point.
Now goes deep, and it's picked off again. Damian Lyons has his 7th interception of the season. And Doug Flutie served up number 6 today. Lyons ties Les Brown for the league lead.
And he turns it up, and then the ball is underthrown. Damian Lyons is right there for the 2nd interception.
Tough day for Doug Flutie. Now 21 interceptions on the year. And he's served up only 13 touchdown passes, so that ratio is cause for concern. Meanwhile, Tracy Ham has been near flawless. Outgunned last, Tracy Ham has been near flawless. Outgunned last week, but he's had the upper hand today.
He knows that this is a 60-minute game today.
Second down. 8 to go, and they give it up the middle to Souls. Broke a tackle. First down and more. And if there was any doubt, Michael Souls may have erased it with that run straight up the middle.
Up a big first down and keep this drive alive.
22 yards for number 32, and the Esks will keep it on the ground, grinding it out. Up to the 44. Garrett McMahon this afternoon for Calgary and its supporters. 2nd and 5, Marshall.
Blake
Close to the
Marshall
first down.
inside, crosses the 45, gets up to about the 47.
Well, there is
Control the point of attack,
Calgary
control
Stampeder
the
Radio.
line of scrimmage
The next
against
broadcast
the
from the
Calgary
Skydome in
Stampeders.
Toronto is September 13th. The pregame
Up to
is at 10:30
193
a.m.
yards rushing for the Eskimos in this game. By the way, the 6 interceptions by Doug Flutie ties a Stampeder club record, one that
First and
he
10
won't want a part
Edmonton
of. Eric Kramer and
at
Jerry
the Eskimo
Attilio also
47.
threw a half dozen in a game. Michael Souls again. Outside, first down and out of bounds. 36 seconds to go. Eskimos have a 100-yard rushing man Here's Blake Marshall. His sidekick
Blake
from
Marshall, the
McGill.
ball carrier for the Eskimos.
Michael Souls has 101
Wrapped up
yards
by
on
Matt
13
Finley.
carries.
Gain of 5.
Another shot from upstairs where the crowd is starting to thin out. 2 years ago, they set a McMahon Stadium record on Labor Day. Nobody from the Eskimo.
There's one little corner over there in that stadium that nobody's leaving. They're going to enjoy every bit of it. About 1,000 people came down on buses from Edmonton, and they're over there in the cheap seats, and they're enjoying every bit of this right now.
You know, 2 years ago, the Eskimos spoiled the party, winning 38-4. This will be their 14th win in 22 starts on Labor Day in Calgary.
You got to think right now, Blake Marshall, he's got to be in his heaven right now. He knows he's going to get the ball probably more times in this last few seconds than he has all game long. At a point, somebody's going to hit him. He's going to be hitting people and making tackles and bumping off of guys. And this is his style of football.
Marshall just short, so it'll be a 3rd and 1.
You don't think this one's sweet? Ron Lancaster about to improve his Eskimo coaching record to 19-8. The Stampeders beat Edmonton in Commonwealth in last year's Western Final. There's the 100-yard man and his teammate, the all-Canadian running backs.
What a great tandem these guys make, because there's really absolutely...
They've stopped the skid here. And they'll run out the clock at McMahon Stadium. Calgary wanted to have a sellout party, but Ron Lancaster and the Eskimos spoiled all of that. 13-point win, the Eskimos on top, and what a big game for Tracy Ham, a real character builder for a guy.
Absolutely for him and his confidence as far as what he did. He threw the ball extremely well. I thought his play selection as far as the way he mixed it up, running the ball inside, running the ball outside, mixing the passes up as far as going for the home run when he had to, but working the ball. He showed a lot of confidence out there and a lot of patience of being able to move the ball down the field and becoming more of a possession quarterback, and that enhanced the ability for the Edmonton Eskimos to score. And again, the big thing was that the defense of the Edmonton Eskimos, this is a full team effort. The defense played well, the offense played well. They came up with big turnovers on the defensive side.
And on the other side, the Calgary Stampeders just made too many mistakes. 7 turnovers today, 6 interceptions thrown by Doug Flutie, a couple of those right off the hands of the receivers. And the storybook script here in Calgary did not materialize. The Eskimos are best in the West and the best so far in the CFL.